be beaming, I be booming down that block. Everywhere you go, you know they know I'm hot.
What's the deal? What's going on, my good people? Welcome back to the channel. Happy Wednesday. I hope you all are doing well. If this is your first time here, I want to welcome you. Pull up a seat. I hope you enjoyed the content. And before we get into this food, I want to ask that you like, comment, share, subscribe. Go ahead and tap that bell while you're at it so you're notified anytime I drop a brand new video, go live, or schedule a premiere. All right, y'all, today I'm keeping things very light and plant-based today. I need some veggies after all that food I did last week for Thanksgiving. So I have some teriyaki oyster mushrooms. I have some sauteed broccoli. I have some spiced chickpeas topped with the cashew sauce. So let me go ahead and bring this in to you real quick. Get a good look at those mushrooms, and they nice and juicy. Ooh, yes. Y'all, and I got some chive dipping sauce on the side. I'm gonna dip my veggies in here. So, got that on the side right here. So let's get to it. Let's see, let's definitely start with the mushroom. Let me bring this in close. I topped it with some sesame seeds. Let's see that. That is so good. That is bomb. This is my first time having, look at, got chickpeas rolling everywhere. It's my first time having spiced chickpeas. Pretty good. And the cashew cream sauce is tangy. Got some lemon and garlic in it. That's good. Everything is nice and seasoned. It's good. This is exactly what I need because I did way too much. I did way too much with that food last week, y'all. I mean, even though I had a smoothie the other day, I still was going in with those leftovers. I was going in, okay? Got the chive sauce. You see those Thai chilies on it? It's about to be spicy, but it's about to be good. Woo, that's hot. But it's so good. If you want some chive dipping sauce, click the link in my description. Go ahead and go to the website. You can get a smaller size than this. This is the party size. I feel like this is the best. This is the best bang for your buck because it's like, you might as well get it because you're going to be mad that you ran out. So I stay with the party size one. But I'm just saying, so check out the link and get you some sauce. Because it's just one of the best. It is, in my opinion. Like, it's good. So, y'all, we doing part 3, the story time series. So, I'm going to get into that in a minute. I love the sweetness on this. I used some date syrup to make the teriyaki sauce. I'll drop a link below. I've done a cooking tutorial on the teriyaki oyster mushrooms before, so if you want to know how to make it, just go ahead and watch that video. Also too, everything that I've cooked here features my low sodium seasoning, jalapeno garlic pepper. Yeah, what am I doing? Jalapeno garlic pepper and also the Cajun lemon pepper. So if you want either one of those, go ahead and tap the link in my description as well. Get you some seasoning. Go ahead and change these flavors up a little bit for your holiday meals. That teriyaki sauce is bomb. Yes. Also, a big shout out to Joe. First initial of your last name is C. Joe C. Joe was the winner of the bonus giveaway for the Black Friday sale. So Joe ordered one of each of the seasonings. So I already sent you a package. You have another set of seasonings on the way. Just as a thank you for supporting me during Black Friday. I appreciate you and your business, you and your support. So now you got some extra seasoning. And I hope you and your family enjoy it. Y'all, I'm over here getting the holiday spirit. I don't know if y'all can tell, but I changed my tablecloth. It's usually black. I have a red one now. I got my 'Tis the Season mug with some water in it. I also got some holiday videos coming. So y'all let me know. Are y'all into holiday videos? I mean, I'm not committing to Vlogmas because that's a daily thing. I can't do all that. But I do have like some vlog videos and some different things. I'm going to switch up a little bit. That will include food. That will include some other stuff as well. So y'all let me know. Are y'all into holiday videos? You know, we definitely deep in the holiday season now. So y'all let me know if that's your thing. I got some content coming. This teriyaki is so satisfying. The oyster mushrooms are so meaty that you really don't miss the meat. You really don't. I'm about to get to this story time too. I feel like it's gonna be kind of long. I don't know why, but I do. So let me get to it. All right. If you need to get caught up on this story time, you can click on my playlist. Click on fiction stories. There's a part 1 and part 2 there. If you want to come back to this one so you can get caught up. This is going to be the finale. Hopefully everything makes sense. That's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping that everything makes sense. All right, y'all. So we left off with Malcolm finding out that Bianca and Yana were married. They're on live. They're on Bianca's live. So we're picking up from that part. So Malcolm drives off. He drives off. Goes home. Picks his food up, goes home. Bianca ends her live. And as soon as her live ends, the energy completely changes in the room. It shifts. She looks irritated. She looks just disgusted. And so does Yana. Like, their energy matches each other. They are not happy to see each other. They are not happily married. Their marriage is clearly on the rocks. There is tension everywhere. Like, it is everywhere. You know, they're not talking to each other, walking around each other. You know what I'm saying? Didn't ask about each other's day, nothing. So what they've been doing is they were happily married at one point. And, you know, people are used to seeing them together. So Bianca makes it a point, you know what I'm saying, to kind of show her off whenever she can, to make them look like they're happily married, putting on for social media, putting on for her audience. And that's just what it is. So now we understand that they're not happily married. So, you know what I'm saying, Yana walks off to her room. She has her own bedroom, and Bianca has her own bedroom. They sleep separately and everything, y'all. They are not happy. All right, so that's what happens with that. So they go on, and their night continues, right, in their own separate parts of the house. So now it is next day. And Bianca's gone at the house. She's at the shop, cutting hair. And Yana's at home. She's working from home. And she's getting ready to do a load of laundry. And some of Bianca's clothes are mixed in with this laundry. And, you know, she's like, whatever. Her stuff is here. I'll go ahead and wash it. So she's like going through her pockets before she puts it in the washing machine. And Malcolm's business card falls out. So she grabs Malcolm's card and is like, oh, shit. Like, how could they have met? I mean, it's a number of ways they could have met. She has a skateboard shop that's well known. barbershop, like anything could have happened or why their paths could have crossed. So she's freaking out at this point. Now, mind you, Malcolm is also supposed to come over at 3 o'clock. So she calls Malcolm. He answers on the first ring. And she goes, hey. And she sounds like her voice is a little bit shaky. And he's like, is everything all right? And she's like, I don't know. You tell me. Is there something you want to tell me? And he's like, no, why? And she's like, oh, nothing. You know what? Plans have changed. I actually need you to meet me at the Prescott Hotel. He was like, are you sure? She's like, yeah. Same time, 3 o'clock, I'll meet you there. So, you know, she rushes him off the phone so she can get her stuff together and get over to the Prescott Hotel, right? So, fast forward. At the hotel, you know, Yana is getting everything together. You know what I'm saying? She has like a bucket of ice. She has drinks. She's dressed in like this little, like cute little dainty, sexy looking dress or whatever. And knock on the door. It's Malcolm. She lets him in. And for whatever reason, things are just kind of awkward between them. And he's kind of awkward, like, what happened? Why did plans change? But not trying to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? And she is just feeling awkward because she found his card in Bianca's pocket. So she's like thinking like, damn, like, how do you know each other? So he sits down on the bed and she pours him a drink. So he's, you know, taking his drink or whatever. She's like, you know what? I need to tell you something. And he's like, all right, you know, go for it. He's just listening, waiting for her to get it out. But she's just kind of pacing back and forth. And she's just like, I really have to tell you something. He's like, all right, whenever you're ready, I'm listening. So she's taking a drink, looking at him, looking down at her drink, just nervous. You know what I'm saying? She really wants to tell him that she's a married woman, but she doesn't get a chance to. Before she can say any of that, Malcolm just gets aggressive with her. He wraps his hand around her neck and he pushes her up against the wall. And she's just looking at him. She's, you know, looking at each other, and they just start kissing. They start kissing. She didn't get a chance to get what she wanted to say out. They just kind of get down to what they're there for, basically, you know. And, you know, she pushes him on the bed. She climbs on top of him. They're kissing. She's taking off his clothes. He's taking off her clothes. And, you know, things are getting real steamy real fast, right? Then all of a sudden, the closet door slides open. It's Bianca. Bianca comes out of the closet. Of course, they're surprised. And Yana jumps off Malcolm. You know, she's still on the bed, but she climbs off top of him because she's just shocked. Like, why is Bianca here? How is she here? And Bianca immediately grabs her phone. Her phone was tucked away on like the shelf. She's recording the whole thing. So Yana, of course, her mouth just drops and she's just like, what are you doing here? Like, and she's like, oh, hey. She was like, I know you was no good. I knew you was up to some shit. I knew you was doing something. But she's like, how did you get here? And she's like, I followed you. She's like, I followed you and followed you into the hotel, saw you check in. You didn't see me. And, I saw you get on the elevator. I overheard you say what floor you were going to be on. They said your room number. I overheard it. I was close enough, but you didn't see me. And I got off of the elevator and I hid and I waited because I knew you was going to leave and go get ice. I know you. And she left the door propped open. So when the door was propped open, Bianca slid into the hotel and she hid her camera and then she climbed in the closet. So Yana is just floored at this point. She's like, what? Ain't nothing she could say. So, of course, Bianca just going off on her. She was like, I got everything I needed. She was like, we had the infidelity clause in our prenup. You're not getting shit. You're not getting nothing because you out here doing dirt. And I knew you was up to no good. Taking all these solo trips, doing all kind of stuff. Like, it just wasn't adding up. You know what I'm saying? Something wasn't right. She was like, I caught you red-handed. I have evidence that you're cheating. You're not getting anything. Because side note, Bianca has bread. Bianca she got a huge inheritance. Like I said, she has a well-known skateboard shop that makes a lot of money. She owns half of the barbershop that she works at. So she had a lot of stuff before she came into the marriage. And she wouldn't have had any problem giving, Yana half of that. Had things just kind of like fell apart between them. But see, Yana has had a history of cheating before they were together and then she stopped. So they included the infidelity clause. So now that she's caught her, Yana gets nothing. And the house they live in is also Bianca's. So Bianca takes her wedding ring off and she throws it at Yana. She was like, I'm not coming home tonight. I don't want to see your face. Get all your shit out the house. It needs to be gone tonight. So, of course, Yana's just looking there. And Malcolm is just looking, too. Because he's like, oh, like, okay. You know, like, he just can't believe all of this. All this is going down in front of him, right? So, of course, Yana is still on the inside, wondering how these two know each other. But, of course, that doesn't matter at this moment. So, Bianca storms off. She leaves. And now Malcolm is just kind of sitting there stunned, like, damn. Nothing is said. He's trying to avoid eye contact while he's trying to get dressed. He puts on his shirt, fixes his pants, you know, grabs his jacket, puts on his shoes, and he leaves a couple of minutes after Bianca does. So he jumps in his car, and he's just driving in silence because he's just trying to process everything that just happened. Because everything just happened so fast. So he's driving. He ends up at a bar. And he gets into this bar, and instead of sitting at the bar itself, like sitting at a stool at the bar, he finds a booth, like in a corner. So he goes into the corner by himself, tucked away. It's dark, orders a drink. He gets his drink, and he just downs it. He just takes it back. Boom. He just sitting there, like, processing, like, I can't believe what just happened. Like, this is a lot going on. Like, he's just processing. So he's like, hey, let me get another drink. Second drink comes. So he starts sipping the second drink, sipping it slowly. He didn't throw it back like the first one. So he's sitting there, and all of a sudden somebody slides into the booth next to him, and it's Bianca. Bianca slams down an envelope full of money, but she's pissed though. She got an attitude. And she's like, look, I know I hired you to follow my wife and do all of this or whatever, but you took it too far. Like, you weren't supposed to actually sleep with her. So she's just going off about it. Like, you know what? Like, you did way too much. You did way too much. I didn't need all of that, right? But he's like, here's your money. Paying you for your services. I'm done. Like, so she walks off. And now, mind you, before she walked off, Malcolm didn't deny the allegations. He did, in fact, sleep with Yana a few times while all of this was going on, right? So Malcolm just sitting there. Downs the rest of his second drink. He's just sitting there. He turns over his phone. He goes on Instagram, and he's just kind of like, you know, looking around. But then he goes to Yana's page, and he's just looking at her. He's admiring her. You know, like, he has a thing for her. Over the course of him doing his job as a private detective, he has fallen for this woman. He has a genuine interest in her. So he's just looking at her like, what am I supposed to do now, right? As he's doing this, he gets a text message, and it's from Yana. And Yana says, I'm sorry. Can you forgive me? And she has the broken heart emoji. And he's looking because he's like, damn, what do I say? You know? So he starts typing, then he stops. Starts typing, then he stops. Starts typing, and he stops. So, of course, Yana sees the bubbles on her iPhone. And she's like, she's like, say something. She texts him, it's like, say something. And he responds back and was like, shit happens. I got you if you need somewhere to stay. And that's the end. So, kind of recapping a little bit. When Bianca was looking to hire a detective, a private detective, she went through several different people, but Malcolm caught her eye because he looked like the kind of guy that Yana would like. Like, he looked like her type. So, you know, of course, meeting her on the plane and going to the Philippines, all of that was a setup. The international banker, like, he took on a whole role of somebody in order to kind of, you know, do what his client wanted him to do and try to find out what his client wanted him to find out. So that was a whole facade, right? So that's one part of it. And also, you know, when Malcolm had a burner account that he would communicate, you know, back and forth with Bianca through this burner account. But of course, it made no sense for him to communicate with Bianca from his regular account because Yana would recognize that name and know that something was going on, right? So he would communicate with Bianca through this burner account. So when he went and got his haircut, he needed a haircut, number one, and number two, they were basically pretending they were having a business meeting out in the open. They were talking in code the whole time. So that was a part of one of their business meetings. All right. And so then number three, I just wanted to kind of point out was that when he went to the house, when he was walking around and looking at the house while nobody was there, that was really him from like a private detective perspective. He was kind of walking around since he was in the area. He went to go check out the house to kind of see how big the property was, what it looked like in the backyard. Because he's been there before with Yana. He slept with Yana at this house, but he's only been on the inside. He never really saw the outside. So he's scoping the house and really looking around for Bianca. Like if she wanted to get cameras or anything placed in the house, he wanted to be able to recommend that to her. You know what I'm saying? So he just popped up to look around real quick. Wasn't expecting Bianca to come home. And, you know, because he wasn't expecting her to come home, he didn't want to scare her because he didn't give her a heads up that he was coming to her house, right? So he didn't want to look crazy. So that's kind of like all the little things that I kind of like said over the course of part 1 and part 2. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the story time. Hopefully it wasn't too busy and all over the place. I have done a fiction series before, a story time, where there was a woman who was a private detective, you know what I'm saying, that went undercover and did some stuff for her clients. So I wanted to do a guy that was a private detective and went undercover and did some work for his client. So, you know, y'all be careful who y'all out here being friends with, okay? I'm just playing, but no, seriously, I hope you enjoyed the story time. Hopefully it was easy to follow. If anybody has any questions, let me know. I will clarify in the comments for you. I think next up is going to be some holiday content. So I hope you guys are looking forward to that. Let me know below in the comments if you are, if that's your thing, if this is a special time of year for you, when you get really excited about YouTube content because it'll include holiday stuff. Yeah, so I'm also going to get up out of here. Y'all, appreciate you for watching. I appreciate you for listening. And thank you. Be good to yourself. Peace.
I be beaming, I be booming down that block. Everywhere you go,